Hello again. This is the Waterman Spiritual Toolbox number 37, the Love Chapter number 13, Examination Table number 18, and audio recording number 355. Okay, I'll continue in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 2. Start out by reading it in the New King James Version, or in the King James Version, I'm sorry. It says, "And though I have the gift of prophecy, and understand all mysteries, and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains," I've covered up to there so far, and now let's work on the rest of it. "And have not charity, I am nothing." Okay? Let's go down here. Okay, so there's a little bit different order in the original language. You know, they got charity first, then and not have nothing, I am. Okay, let's see here. Let's try to break it down here a little bit. And have not charity. Let's work on that. Okay, and it's just DE. It's 1161, and it can be. This is this word.
Strong's G 1161.
De. And it's a primary particle. It's adversative or continuative. So it can be a continuative one, like and, or it could be like an adversative, like a but, on the contrary. Okay? And right down here, it has that in the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance. It's a primary particle, and adversative or continuative, but, comma, or and etc. Okay? And in the Thayer's, it's got a but or moreover, but rather, okay? So it's but or and, okay? On the contrary, or whatever. You know, if you have all that stuff, you're progressing and stuff, but you're falling short of going all the way back en and resting in God, in the right-mindedness of God, and resting in God, in these thought processes in your mind that God's whittling it out and transforming it back into His right-mindedness through that consuming fire and that refining fire, that process of bringing you from out of that fleshly thinking, your carnality, your non-spiritual mind, right back into the right-mindedness, the spiritual mind of God. Right back in, all the way in, that going all the way through that eye of the needle, and it's burning up all that garbage stuff, garbage thinking, and then refining out that impurities. Anything less than being in it and resting in God and then being in union with God. What's it say here? See, wait a minute. Oh, and have not love, charity. Okay, that's that love beyond words. Okay, now let's go back here and look in this thing. So we're breaking it from the original language right down into the base, right down where it's coming from, the core, the root of it, to the etymology. Okay. Okay, let's see. I gotta roll back up here now. Okay, and not, or have not. Okay, let's do have. Okay, that's that echo. We've been there before. ECHO 2192. It's right here.
Strong's G 2192. Echo.
Let's see. I've got it here in this somewhere. Let me see. Well, let's just look right here. Okay. It's that possess the right-mindedness of God by driving out those former inhabitants in the land, in your mind, that old stinking thinking, that old ego of non-spiritualness, that old baggage thinking, that garbage, burning it up, okay? Okay, and you have not loved. God's what? God is love. God is light. It's the illumination of that love beyond words. Okay? You're falling short. You're coming out, you know, you got to fall all the way, exist. Make your stand back in God all the way in, you know, from out of to towards into and en and syn and rest in God. He's bringing you all the way in there. Okay? So that you could rest just like Jesus was resting in that ship when all those storms and stuff was hitting it, and the disciples were going, "Oh my goodness, we're going to die." Ah. They went and woke him up. All right? He's like, how long am I going to put up with you guys? You people. Right? Like, ye of little faith. You know, it's still seeds. They got to come all the way through that and grow into trees that bear much fruit. Each one of these thought processes in your mind is cutting out that old darkness, ignorance of God's way, and bringing you into that love that's beyond words. And you rest in that love, held securely. You're in union with that love in your mind, in each and every thought process. And how many ways can you think in your mind? An innumerable number. And if you do get a number, that's going to increase continually because you're constantly thinking. If you're alive, you're thinking. Your brain's working. And this is going on beyond that old brain, which is just an organ. This is in the mind, in the way you think. Each individual area of your thinking process. God's ways are far above our ways. He's going all the way down in there and getting them. And creating a relationship when he's bringing you all the way in there to where you're at rest in him. In the security in God, like held tightly in the nucleus of an atom. That strong, weak nuclear forces hold you real tight, and it has to be really, really close. Can't be way out here in the electron thing. The strong, weak nuclear forces doesn't reach that far, but it draws that gravitational attraction, like just like in the solar system, all the planets and stuff are orbiting around this because of that. The mass of that, the star in the center of that is like pulling. It's down. It's like going round and round. They're held. Okay? And as you're going closer, closer, closer in there, and you get all the way in it, see, that's just like God's the light. God is your strength. It's not, God gives the increase. Not you can't do it by your own might and power. Be like being in the space with no atmosphere. If you could survive in the space, but you would just be floating around. You can't. I'm trying to push this way. It wouldn't do no good. You just float around. You can't tell which end's up. But as God draws. See, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men, everyone to me. It's like melting off that hills, that wax, that dust thinking. He's melting the hills away like wax as you're pressing into him in hot pursuit. You're agreeing with God. Yes, sir, Daddy. Let's chop it out, carve this stuff out. Out of each and every thought process. There's got to be a lot of hot, fiery trials and a lot of pressure. You got to come to the realization and acknowledge God's a big hero. He's the hero. He's your exceeding great reward at your origin. Come right back into this chav, that love beyond words, that agape love that God put in you as a seed. Let it grow up to where you can love God in a different order, a different manner, a different amount, a higher level, higher degree. You're coming up higher. Be reasonable, my child. Sit my way. You're elevating yourself in the spirit. Come right back into the right mind, from Olive through to into all this stuff, right back in, rested in God, right back in there. In the safety, security of God, the refuge, your strong tower, okay? Your sufficiency, right in, back to the origin, back to that love that's beyond words. That's where He's taking you, each and every area. But you got to agree. Got to decide when you're in the eye of these storms, in the center of those storms, you have to decide. Each time it's cutting it away from 1 mile, 2 miles, to 4 to 8 to 16, 32, 64. He's cutting it all out. Okay, if you don't, fall back away. If you fall into God, fall in out of love. Fall into your own stuff, your own poop thinking. It's like you gotta surrender all. It's like dying to self. In that one word, E.T., I think it's like 834, 835. They don't even translate it in there. And most of the time, I don't know if they ever do. They might. I'm not sure. I haven't found it translated yet, but in the Old Testament, it's in there. I think it's either number 834 or 835. But it's E.T. and it's pronounced eighth. Like A-Y-T-H. I'm not sure. It might have an E at the end. Like eighth. It's your own self. Your own, that old thinking. You yuck stuff. That ignorance of God. And in the center of that eye of the storm, we have to decide, fall in love with God in hot pursuit with everything you got, or fall away from God, disagree with God. Agree or disagree. That's all there is. You're dying to yourself, to your old right-mindedness. If you're not, you're falling away. And when you're dying to yourself, you're doing it in hot pursuit. Total agreement. Strong affirmation. Yes, sir, that is. Chop this stuff out. I don't want it. Blow that crap up. Burn it up with that consuming fire, and then refine the harder stuff, the stuff left over. And this is in each and every area of your thinking process. It's coming up higher. Okay? Now, this, okay, that's, hang on a minute. It was down here too. And have not love, a charity, that love that's beyond words. It's an agape, okay? Here, I'll even look at it, have it say it for you. That's just the King James stuff. Charity. Thinking, oh, I give money or give them stuff, that's it. No. Still, that's kind of external, but it's agape. A-G-A-P-E, number 26.
Strong's G26. Agape.
Right? And this, and, that's that D. It's on the contrary. It can be it's like but, okay? Or it's a continuing thing, okay? And, possess, echo, possessive. Drive out that former stuff. Agree with God. Possess it. But if you stop short of being in God and in union with God and resting in God, you're nothing, right? We'll get to that here just shortly. Okay? So you possess it not. This word not is number 3361, M-E.
Strong's G 3361.
May. Spelled M-A, or pronounced M-A-Y, and spelled M-E, okay? 3361. And that one is Well, it's right here. Yeah. It's a particle. It's a qualified negation. Basically, it's which way do you qualify? It's falling into God, falling into love with God by doing it in hot pursuit, agreeing strongly, strong affirmation, full bore. Yes, sir, that is college. Have to step out. You're agreeing, full agreement. You're qualifying to go on in God. Going right through that eye of the needle. It's double, 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 double as you fall into the Lord, right? Into God's right-mindedness. I'm not saying, hang on a minute. Hang on there a minute. I've got to write about this, and I just don't think it's right. I put all my time, talent, and effort in this thing. I buried it in my earth, and it's safe and sound in my earthly thinking. I've put all my life into believing this way, and it's just blah, 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 blah. You're clucking and croaking and doing all kinds of unintelligible talk. You're turning around like Lot's wife. You're disagreeing with God. You're trying to argue with God. How stupid is that? Oh, I know more than you do, God, just because you got omniscient. You're omniscient. You know it all, but not really. I know better because I put a lot of time, talent, and effort in this. Hogwash. It's like a hee-haw donkey and stuff. Hee-haw. Don't trust that thing. Make God true. That is the truth. You're turning this faith. You're growing it up back into this truthfulness of God, back into that love beyond words of God. Okay? Don't do hee-haw like a donkey and stop it, cut it off. If you do, it says, I am nothing. Okay? Okay? It's no, not less, all this stuff. Okay? It's that May stuff. It's just, yuck. Okay? Now, have not love. The love, that's that charity. Agape. This word.
Strong's G26. Agape.
Okay.
Agape.
And then there's the last two words, nothing, and I am. So we'll do the I am first, okay? And that in this one, in the Koine Greek, it's E-I-M-I. And it's number 1510. It's this word.
Strong's G1510. I me.
I me. I me. Okay? And that word is a verb. It's online biblical usage. It means to be, to exist. Strong's, it's I exist. The Thayer's, it's I exist. It's to live. To exist in God, to exist. You're continuing in God, in that right-mindedness of God. You're lining up the prayers, the communication of a right-minded man, a righteous person, avails much, because it's whittling out that old crap, garbage thinking. It's agreeing. It's existing back into the self-existing one. It's agreeing, yes, sir, that is. Chop out this board. Chop out this old darkness in me, this ignorance. Enlighten me. I want more of you. Not turning back and going, oh, man, I might be losing something there in that old stinking thinking. Dig through the garbage. I better stay here. No, get rid of that bullshit. That worthless, detestable stuff in your mind, in your thinking. It's not the right-mindedness of God. It's from that alpha dog, that beast nature. Bark, 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 bark. Hee-haw, 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 you talk like that. It's garbage thinking. If it's parakeets saying, I'm good, ah, give me a cracker, Parrot. No. Good, bad, it don't matter. Good, bad, and ugly, it's garbage. Burn that stuff up and let God refine this stuff out. Agree. Exist, stay in that thing. Make your stand in the right-mindedness of God. Let God do the work. Let God pull you out of that old stinking thinking. Okay? When you stay in there and you get too hardened down in that and stuff, it dries that poop thinking up, man. It makes it like rubberized, worse than rubberized concrete. Hard to come out of that stuff. Okay? Now, see, I got some notes here. Not even one thought or thought processes is reborn. And if you're going back this other way, like I am nothing, nothing's there. Wait a minute, let me go. I need to. The I am is that I me. Okay, it's a verb. It's to be present, to exist, to happen. Okay, to be. That's existing in God. Okay, in God's right-mindedness. Okay, and I gotta find that other word here. And then the last word that it's not the last word I am. The I me is the last word in this, but when they put it in the English, they go, I am me. Okay, it's to exist. I am nothing. Okay, this nothing, they translate as nothing, is 3762. It's Oudeis. It's this word.
Strong's G 3762. Udice. Udice.
Udice. That'd be kind of like, ooh, dice. Ooh, yuck. Dice. I'm nothing. Lightweight. You're going back to being like, you're just staying as a seed that God put in you. Now I can't go no farther. Gave you all a hand, right? That comes from two words. The etymology, the root, the core of that comes from two words, number 3761 and number 1521. And it's like when you're burying that seed and stuff in your own fleshly thinking. Okay? Instead of putting it to use and letting God, coming out of this stinking thinking and letting God increase it. It's like his talents. God gave different ones, some 5, and all this stuff, and they produced more than the one that he gave one. He didn't do nothing, he buried it in his earth. When God returned, he appeared again, Jesus returned. You know, I knew you was a harsh man, and I feared you, and all blah, 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 blah. They do take that and give it to the other one, right? You stand a lightweight. You're not increasing in God's glory at all. You're not in no way, shape, form in your understanding of God and your understanding of the way God loves you. You're not coming through that eye of the needle, because none of that yuck thinking can go through that eye of the needle. Remember, it's easier to put a camel through that eye of the needle than to put any of that old me, myself, and I, that ego, your own right-mindedness, that crap through that eye of the needle. Absolutely prohibited by God. Right, that other one is a qualified negation. It qualifies you to either fall into God or fall away. If anything but go in hot pursuit of God, yes, sir, Daddy, I agree, so be it. Yes, sir, let's get it. But emphatically, is falling away. Right, subsiding away. I'm subsiding in this crap thinking. Okay? Now, let's see here. I got some notes here on that. Not even one thought or thought processes is reborn in that. Okay? It's born again back in the right-mindedness, the righteousness of God. Can't go there. You got to be born again. It's renewing, burn up that garbage thinking, refining that stuff. God's doing that. You're agreeing back into him. He's baptizing you in the Holy Spirit and bringing it up higher in your thinking, elevating you from out of this dust thinking, this earthly thinking, this fleshly thinking, this yuck, poop, ooh, yuck, right, yeah, nasty stuff, hog slop. He's bringing it up and purifying it back into his righteousness. You got to agree. 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, right? Double, right? In each and every area of your thinking process, okay? Now, back to this OU, what's that?
Strong's G, 3762,
Dice, right? That's not one or nothing. Not one of those little thought processes, little balls you think processes go through. I am, or I existed into. I'm making my stand in Christ. Not one of them is being increased at all. All the way back in God and in union with God and resting in God. Okay, now that Udice comes from 3761 and 1520. Not the action. All the way back beyond the brain, back into your mind, back into those individual thought processes, right where God's working. It's telling you, showing you a picture that Udice, not one. This is where it's coming from, right in that original, right down there in the basis, the core of this, come from these two words. Now let's check these words out. 3761.
Strong's G, 3761,
Ude, spelled O-U-D-E. Okay? It's a conjunction. It actually comes from two words, 3756 and 1161. I'm not going to go all the way down to them. You can look at them if you want to yourself. It means not even. Okay? It's in the Strong's. Yeah, in the Strong's it says not even. In the Thayers, but not, and not, nor. Neither, all, also not. It's got a bunch of words. Have you not even, and right here, not even. Okay, so we can pretty safely say that's not even. Okay, so it's from not even and 1520. Okay, this is right down, right in from the core of your thinking. You're existing to not even, and let's see, with this heis, H-E-I-S.
Strong's G, 1520, heis.
And that's just plainly and simply one. So not even one combination, okay? Not even one of your thought processes coming all the way back. Without love, now let's look at this. Back it up here. Right there we are. I'll read the whole verse and then we'll go at this. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, okay, in your own strength and might, or if you're in the process of doing that, you're holding on to God with all you thing you got, you're agreeing totally, and you don't drive out those former inhabitants completely, and that echo, okay, have not love. This love beyond words. You're not going all the way back in there to where God's welding you and holding you safely and tightly like in the nucleus. But he holds you tighter than the strong and weak nuclear force that's in that nucleus, okay? Actually, I think the weak nuclear force holds that. I'm not sure if that's in, but the strong force, it's right there, it's closest. God holds you tighter than that. Closer, stronger, more securely. You're welded in there with God's love. It's beyond words, okay? And have not love. I am nothing, right? I exist. I made my stand into it, but I fell short. And you're not in nothing that's not even one. Remember those two words? Okay? It's compounded. So, I existed back into nothing. Not even one of those thought processes was brought back to that child. Up to the full potential. of that love beyond words. It starts in love that God gave you. He loves you more than anything, and He brings you to all this stuff, brings you right back into His love, His ability to love you. Not even one of them's made it back there if you don't have love. That's what it's all about. Come back into that love of God beyond words. Okay? In every thought process. Okay? It's just saying it, you didn't even do it in one. Okay? I'll continue later. This has been Spiritual Toolbox number 37, Love chapter 13, Exam 18, audio recording number 355. I gotta sign off. It's about to run out of time. I thank you. I love you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.